Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk. This is your weekly podcast. How are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on the international break so far, what you've been doing to kind of preoccupy your time, because as we all know, they are absolutely dog shit. But it's nearly over. It's Wednesday, we've got football on the weekend. We'll have the Liverpool preview coming up within the next couple of days. But today's main focus, is going to be on the news stories, which we'll get into in a moment. Lads, what have we done over the international break? I feel like we've due a bit of a catch-up. Shreyas, hit me.
Yeah, got a little bit of a throat infection, so I was recovering from that. But besides that, just trying to kill some time because after a positive result, it was quite kind of hard to endure the break that has gone down between this Liverpool game.
Yeah. It's almost like it's the anxiety in it, like of knowing something's there, but not quite knowing how it's going to affect you or what's going to happen. At least have you had some cricket to watch?
Oh
during... yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And have they won in that or?
Yeah.
So there we go, silver linings and all that. Sam, likewise, I doubt you've been watching cricket, but have you made use of the international break?
Yeah, I've done all the normal boring house chore stuff that needed to get done that I haven't done. And then have arguments with vets about bill paying. So that's been a fun last couple of days. But you know when you're like, oh, I can't wait for United to get back, and then you realise who you're playing, and you're like, actually, you could go on for another couple of weeks if I'm honest.
Yeah, we'd rather watch England and watch United get battered at Anfield. But that's not going to happen. Speaking about big bills, will we be paying a big bill for Adam Wharton? Apparently he's the new number one target for Manchester United in midfield. We'll discuss him and that potential move. We've had some updates from Mike Keegan coming in about the new stadium and plans around it. We've also had an update on Mazraoui coming back potentially for the game against Liverpool. I'm going to talk about Mason Mount's hopes of getting into the World Cup in his current form, and obviously given the fact that he's played under Thomas Tuchel before, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together and get 4. So, lads, let's dive into this Adam Wharton stuff. So the actual article in itself is behind a paywall, so it's for the iPaper this is from Pete Hall. But the general thing coming out of it is that Adam Wharton is now Manchester United's priority midfield target ahead of Carlos Baleba. Ruben Amorim admires Wharton's directness in passing forward, and they keeping tabs and all the usual terminology that you see with transfer talk. But Adam Wharton, Shreyas, someone obviously who's been a name that's been floating about, a player who we watch regularly in the Premier League, got the Prem Proven tag. I believe there's something of a gentleman's agreement with him and Crystal Palace for around 55-60 million. How true that is, I'm not sure, but I'm sure credible journalists have posted that. But if you have a choice between someone like a Carlos Baleba and Adam Wharton, who would you lean more towards and why?
I think it's a very tough ask, because both of them are really good and established players at such a young age. Baleba at Brighton and Adam Wharton at Palace as well. Both have got some really good exposure, played against some top quality sides and actually fared up quite decent against them. But when you look at the way Amorim wants to play, I think someone like Wharton could help a bit more just because of the passing range he definitely has. Because one of the things that we've noticed in this system is Amorim needs players who can float the ball out wide. The way Casemiro does, the way Bruno is able to shift it out wide to Mbeumo or Koune or Mason Mount. He needs to have those sort of players who have that sort of quality in their locker. And when you look at Wharton, he's very good when it comes to, spreading the ball out wide, spraying the ball out to the flanks. And when you look at Baleba, he's a more all-rounded CDM, like a pure 6, where, he knows how to, win the ball back. He knows how to make those little intricate passes, 1-2, knows how to absorb pressure really well. But when it comes to making those long diagonal passes, is an area he could be good at, but I've not seen a lot of it yet from him. But I've seen a lot of that from Wharton, the way he is able to link up with Munoz in that team, the way he is able to, he started to form a really good partnership with the likes, of Pino, who's just moved there, Mateta there, the way he's able to link that, attack as well as the defense. I think he's got some real quality. The only, I would say warning sign I have with that, Adam Wharton deal is what is going to be Minu's future if Adam Wharton now walks into this midfield, because you've already got a lot of players there. If Wharton comes in, he's definitely going to, take a slot in, one of those double pivot positions. then is Menu even going to be considered in that area or not?
Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. I mean, in Adam Wharton, Sam, we're talking about someone who is one of the Premier League's most promising emerging midfielders, but we already have one of the most promising emerging midfielders. So how do you tangle with that, like Shreyas says?
I think he's a different type of player to Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo is really good in tight spaces. He likes to wriggle around players and walk through gaps and that kind of stuff. He likes the ball at his feet. I think Adam Wharton, and I get your Sam Bingo card out for this, but he's the most Spanish midfielder I've ever seen who's not Spanish. Like the way he plays is very Spain-like. Think Xabi Alonso, those kind of guys. Like he knows where he is on the pitch. His passing is accurate and pinpoint. He's able to stroll about with like what looks like little effort, but obviously there's a lot of effort going into it. And he's very silky and stuff like that. So I think they're quite different players. Even though they play in a similar position, they're very different players. So I think that passing range that he has, I think he's averaging 0.26 assists per night in the Premier League. So he's in the top 2% of midfielders this season. So that's what you're getting from the likes of an Adam Wharton. I think Kobbie Mainoo is more of a goal threat. I think you push him higher up, get him on the ball, let him run at defenders and 1-2s with people, and get him towards the goal. I think that's where he's better. Can they play together? Maybe that's the sort of system you set up with Mainoo and Wharton. I still think you're missing a bit of steel and a bit of tackle, a bit of bite in that. But who knows? But yeah, I think if he came in, it'd only be a bonus for us, but I think we would still need a Carlos Baliba in there or a similar profile to play alongside a Wharton or a Kobbie Mainoo. I do see a lot of midfield exits next summer. I think Casemiro, obviously his contract's gone. Bruno possibly could go to Saudi after the World Cup. Has Ugarte got a future? I know there was a rumour that was quashed about him getting bollocked after the Garnacho thing, but apparently that's not true. In terms of who reported it. So could he end up leaving as well? So that's 3 midfielders leaving. So arguably you need to replace those. So could you theoretically go get Baliba and Wharton, Kobbie Mainoo add to the system, and then there's your sort of midfield sort of pairings or midfield sort of rotations. Like there's nothing wrong with having multiple good players in good positions. Like I don't think
we'll ever have an issue of bringing players in because as Gary Neville would say, this is Manchester United. But with him being one of the most promising emerging midfielders, and I look at the landscape of other teams at the minute, I think Manchester City, there seems to be an issue with Rodri at the minute. Whatever it is, he just can't seem to get back up to that level. So are they going to reinvest in that area? Obviously, they went and spent 50 million quid. Was it on Rodriguez from Porto? Was it?
Nico Gonzalez.
Sorry. Spent shitloads of money on him. No one ever talks about it, but whatever.
Are Liverpool looking to invest in that area as well?
Another one. I mean,
Gravenberch is holding down that 6th position, but McAllister's been poor this season. Szoboszlai's been shifted about the pitch. Like, do they need to go in and get somebody? Yeah. Obviously, Chelsea are always buying players no matter what. So
they've got Caicedo and they've got Lavio and Enzo and all these players.
They'll still buy.
They'll still probably bid. Yeah. So I imagine the competition is going to be there. And given the gentleman's agreement that's rumoured to be around 60 million quid, that is, for in today's market, that is an absolute steal for someone like Adam Wharton, especially when you've got someone like Brighton quoting 110, 115 million for Carlos Baliba. So it wouldn't actually surprise me if United went, you know what, we can go get someone who is as good in terms of quality, probably better on the ball price. For half the price.
One question for you both. His injury record is quite piss poor.
Yeah.
Is that a concern?
I think you do see it quite a bit with younger players coming through. I don't know what the specific injuries are with him, whether it's an ankle or a knee, a reoccurring thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd have to have a look at it to get a real kind of scale of things and see how long he's out for and how many games he misses.
We've had so many players who like class and just ruined by injury. Like we'll talk about Mason Mount later, but like Luke Shaw ruined by injury, Lisandro Martinez ruined by injury. Like I don't want another promising player and he's just full of injuries and we just never see it. Like that's the concern I have.
So it was groin surgery that he had, and he missed 16 games, so half a season basically.
Yeah.
And then it was an ankle injury for 7 days as well. But obviously the groin surgery would be the main one, especially given his position on the pitch and where he'd be playing for United and that kind of
Needs the legs.
midfield.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, one big injury. I don't know. I'm okay with it. It's just, I suppose it's a gamble you got to take with most players. I think it'd be a rarity to find players in the midfield who, like Bruno Fernandes, you know what I mean, who just does not miss a game ever.
Yeah, there's not many of those that exist.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
They really, really don't. But I take them all day. Yeah, we'll get into more of kind of a choice between them. I want to do something towards the end in regards to the midfield. But let me just read out some comments and see what people are saying. Jay McGrogan in the chat saying, "What's up, lads? Big up to you, sir. Hope you're good." Totally disagree with the top left guy. How is he a top left guy? Because the columns are...
Is it me?
I don't know. It clarifies, Sam is the one with the orange beanie on. Nick is the one with the black cap on, and Shreyas is the other one in the red top, maroon
the
top.
Other one.
Yeah, the other one. It's just easier to say because there's two of us who just mentioned, and then the last one is Shreyas, the other one. Sorry, you deserve more respect than that, Shreyas. The one with the maroon top. I think it's maroon. I've got orange glasses on, so I can't really see that colour or roughly. Let us know. Happy Life saying Wharton would cost any club between 60 to 80 million or 100 million. Which one is it? Someone saying, watch Northampton Town versus Luton. Okay, very random. Someone's obviously bored on international break.
Yeah.
I always think surgery on groins and knees are the ones to worry about. Yeah, potentially. Maybe United are looking at something like that.
Knees is always a problem. I have so many knee injuries myself. Like, if you fuck your knee, it's not good for the rest of your sort of like life, never mind career.
Yeah. And we're talking as regular people. I even remember fracturing my ankle, and it's still not right to this day. It's still got a bit, do you know what I mean? Like, so the impact in the Premier League is at a completely different level. Right, let's move on to this next story then. This is from Mike Keegan in regards to stadium plans. So Manchester United are optimistic about acquiring the land around Old Trafford following constructive discussions with the owners Freightliner, which would pave the way for the construction of the new stadium based on the initial plans. Man United is considering making adjustments to the perimeter of the Old Trafford pitch as well. The uneven surface is quite dangerous and poses a risk of injury to players. You know what? The first thing I think about when I see that the area of the pitch is Di Maria. Do you remember that game? Like Ashley Young, absolutely just yeah, straight into the sideboards, and it just makes me think like I don't want to be missing out on things like that. So if it's to protect our own players, I don't mind, but I do quite like seeing another player kind of get shafted into the boards.
Why is it a thing now? Like, it's been like that for like since I've started going to Old Trafford. Why have they now decided? Oh yeah, we need to fix that. Like,
I would usually say it's like a Dave Brailsford thing. You know, he talks about the small margins.
Oh, when they moved
kind of
the dugouts and stuff, that kind of
stuff. That stinks of something he'd do, but he's not really a part of it now, is he? So, I don't know.
No, didn't the second time Lissandro got injured, didn't he get smashed down?
Yeah, I think that was Kufal, who like when he landed on his knee.
He ended up like going down there, didn't he?
Yeah. But positive signs in its shreds. I mean, if they're acquiring the land, which they've been going back and forth on, to get this stadium done, I find that fascinating, and just the whole kind of build up towards it. I mean, it's probably going to take 4 years anyway, 4 or 5 years plus £2 billion. Does it feel a bit weird at the minute, given the current scenario and all this talk of takeover, and it's a bit bizarre, isn't it, at the moment? Even thinking about a new stadium.
For me, the more pressing matter would be, by in 4 years' time, will we even be in the Prem, or will we be in the Championship? There are still a lot more pressing matters, because that is why it comes to the ownership, when it comes to, what will be the scenario in and around the club, behind the scenes, how will it be coordinated, and how, who will be the people in charge by the time this whole stadium and everything is actually, operational. So I think right now all we can do is speculate. All we can do is just think as to how it might look, and what sort of position when it comes to the football on the pitch will we be at, because considering what has come out and what has been rumored, the ticket prices for watching the games at these new stadiums. If you're going to be playing the same football that you're doing right now, I'm not sure if you're going to be selling all the seats out at Old Trafford.
It seems like they're going to have to deliver a promise, aren't they, Sam, from things I'm reading, that they can sell these seats, and perhaps maybe that's why the licensing thing has been mentioned, this model around American football and the way they do it. Doesn't sound good for fans, does it?
No.
Like Andy Mitten was quite passionate about this on Talk of the Devils, like regular Manchester United fans being priced out of being able to go see Man United. And the idea is you have the expensive luxury seats, which then could subsidize where, I don't want to say hardcore, but the match going fan, like say the TRA and the new Stretford End, like whatever they're going to call that, maybe they just call it Stretford End again. That subsidizes it, which makes those tickets cheaper, so the match going fan can go. I'm okay with that idea. Like, if that's the idea, I don't agree with those luxury seats thing, and then also the prices of the regular seats going up as well. Like, I just don't think that's acceptable.
Yeah, you're getting rid of the lifeblood of the stadium.
Yeah,
aren't you,
like you saw that guy. You remember that dickhead who took the selfie with Avram Glazer? Do you remember that on the top? Like, if Avram Glazer ever came into Stretford End, do you think he'd get out alive?
No.
Like, it's not happening. So you don't want a stadium full of those type of fans. I'm sure that guy's really nice, and I'm sure it was a dream to visit United, but he clearly doesn't understand the culture. Clearly doesn't understand who the Glazers actually are and how much of scumbags they are to this club. You don't want to lose that atmosphere. Like, I was watching the last game, Sunderland, with the TRA and the flags and all that sort of shit. I love that stuff. The massive tifo that they did in Lyon and stuff like that. Oh, bring me a lot more of that stuff. I love that sort of stuff.
They did something like that. So when I went to the Sociedad game last season, quarterfinals, whatever it was, they said, we're going to really make an effort to kind of drill the atmosphere, and people should get there early at like 6:30 and all these kind of things. And some of the tifos that they did was really, really nice. But there was like a bit where they let a firework off, and it was like one firework, and it was like, what budget is this? Who's put this in?
On.
Where he just went pew, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what, is that the start of the game? Is that supposed to drill up the atmosphere? Like, if you're gonna do it at least
go
properly.
big. You gotta go.
Do you know
big.
what I mean? Especially at Old Trafford, like bizarre.
You gotta go big. Like, you need to have a proper atmosphere, and I think if you have those luxury seats and then you put the price up of everything else, I think you lose that. And also fans like Shreyas, who's not yet been able to go to Old Trafford, say he's able to get to Manchester, he's then not able to go. Like, he can't go. Like, whereas at the minute it is a bit pricey, but we know enough people where we could probably get Shreyas a ticket. But in the new Old Trafford, it's just taken up by all the luxury boxes and the rich people.
Yeah, agreed.
No chance.
Question is, Shreyas, are you ever going to do you think you'll ever see a game at Old Trafford? The current one?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can reference this 1937 current time at a minute, 15th of October. This is what we can fall back on.
If anybody or sponsors or anyone in the chat wants to donate to the Get Shreyas to Old Trafford fund, then we are accepting donations.
He'll vlog it all. He'll vlog it all, monetize it, all that kind of jazz, and we can make it a big show. That'd be great. Just not as long as it's not Ryanair. I say that you work for a company, don't you, Shreyas? I'm sure you can
I do. I work in a travel company.
I don't think Ryanair flies to India, to be fair.
No.
Ryanair doesn't fly in general. It's a bag of shit, Ryanair. But, all right, let's get back into football conversations. We've had something from Samuel Luckhurst in regards to Nasser Majraoui ahead of the game against Liverpool. So Nasser Majraoui could be back for Manchester United in time to face Liverpool. The club have been encouraged by his progress since suffering from an impact injury last month. What an impact injury means, I have absolutely no idea. But Shreya, it's very important to get someone like that back in the team. If he is fit, ready, good to go, are you starting him?
100%. In that left side, I think he's definitely got to start, because I think we need, someone of his sort of quality and consistency to play in that backline, because whenever he plays, he, gives you a consistent 7 on 10 or 8 on 10 every single time he's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I think against the sort of players that Liverpool have got to offer, I would be a lot more composed having someone like him in that backline ahead of Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I agree. Feels like there's too many defensive lapses at the moment, doesn't it, Sam? I think you touched on this in the WhatsApp. Just elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, just Yeah, I don't rate Diego Dallo like at all. Like I just think he's gonna allow something, or he's gonna switch off, or he's gonna think. And I just think if Liverpool have got any sort of tactic on nous about him, they're gonna target that side.
Yeah.
And just be like run him ragged and cause him problems. I think Luke Shaw has his moments as well. It's been less so at left centre back, but obviously I've spoken about that thing before where Dorgu bombs on, and Brentford targeted Luke Shaw because they knew they'd get space down there, and he's not the quickest anymore. So that worries me a lot. So I think having someone like Mazraoui in the team definitely will shore us up a little bit. I think you need someone like De Ligt in there as well. Yoro, I think for the speed and the quickness, it has to be in there. So I think some decisions need to be made in terms of like selections. I don't see him dropping Dallo. I think he'll play him. But I would love to see Mazraoui in the side somehow, because I think he definitely adds some sort of stability, and he never has a bad game, really, does he? He's always like a 7, 8 out of 10.
There was one game I remember him, it was against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Where he had a bad game.
I think that's the only one.
Timo Werner, I think, on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he destroyed him, didn't he?
Didn't he?
And like, he's similar to Yoro. Like, Yoro had that bad game against Southampton, and then since then, he's been pretty, like, flawless. So, yeah, I'd put Mazraoui in that team all day.
Yeah, Yoro with that Slimani against him for Southampton was like,
destroyed him,
didn't he? In the documentary, Michael Jordan says, I took that shit personal. And then just since then, he's just never looked back, and he's been pretty resistant. But I thought Maz was really impressive against Chelsea. He was kind of the one setting the tone as well, the pressing from the front. Obviously on the ball, always kind of solving solutions and stuff. So I hope he is fit.
Very intelligent, isn't he? He's extremely intelligent footballer.
It was Ajax kind of breed of player. They just seem to have that versatility about them where they can play in all areas. I think there's another reason why De Ligt and players like De Jong and these kind of guys are successful. So yeah, I hope he does start. I do, however, Shreyas think someone like a Diego Dalot. Isn't it weird how he's being used as a big game player, and he's one of our worst players? I find that utterly bizarre.
It's for the high fives. That's what it's for.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's for the high fives.
I just think that he's incredibly frustrating on the field, especially when he's moving the ball into, the final third. The amount of times that he's, lost out on possession, or he's not in the correct spot at the correct time, or he's misplaced a pass, it does cost the team dearly.
Can't cross either.
Yeah, so I think putting him out on the field, even, when you have to look at it from a defensive standpoint, I don't think that he's offering a lot to you. Even if you have to look at it as, that he's going to offer you a lot defensively. I think Mazraoui offers a lot more than he does. I think Ahmad, and I think Dorgu as well. If I have to look at him as a fullback in this system, I think even defensively and even while moving the ball forward, I think he offers a lot more than what Dallo offers, because at least he's got, fair idea, and he knows how to complement the 10 playing alongside him, whether it's Cunha, whether it's Mason Mount, whether it's someone else. He knows how to, be on the same page as the player that he's, paired up with. But I don't see that with Dallo, that sort of chemistry.
No, I agree. But I think we all think he's probably going to start, don't we, for whatever reason. It's got Dallo written all over it. We're going to flip the conversation towards Mason Mount, the other end of the pitch, someone who you would consider is definitely in form. I think that's going to be fascinating whether he actually starts against Liverpool or not, or if he plays Matheus Cunha. Now, Mason Mount, Sam's only got 1 goal and 1 assist this season in 4 starts. I know... Life is all about stats nowadays. But actually watching his overall performances, what have you made of him in game?
And like you said, you can talk about stats all you want, and we've spoken about XG and pressing and chances created and all that sort of stuff. But on the eye, we know what we're seeing United. Like, we're not finishing and we're not putting chances away. But Mason Mount, you see it. Like, you see his hard work, how he gets about the pitch, the effort he puts in, the quality he has on the ball, his passing. He's always looking to get forward and create chances. Like, he has just been, I think, arguably one of our best players this season. Like, it's a shame that he took that knock and he sort of ruined his momentum a little bit, and he was out for, like, was it 1 game he was out for?
Yeah, 1 or 2, I think he missed.
It's a shame because he was sort of building momentum, I felt, and was really important. So I think you have to start him against Liverpool. I think him, Mazraoui, De Ligt, those type of guys who will give everything and fight for it. I think those are the guys that you start and you put in the team. And I think I like Cunha. I think he's a great player and he offers a lot. But I have been frustrated with him recently with his decision making. Instead of making it passing the ball or like shooting from stupid areas outside the box and stuff, like we had to go with Garnacho for that shit. So I've seen a lot of that from Cunha, and I think he could be effective off the bench. Say we're chasing a game, say it's 1-1 or 0-0, and you want to get a goal. Maybe he's the guy to bring on and cause a bit of chaos and like exploit a sort of tired Liverpool defense who have been piss poor. They've been really poor this season, and I think he could exploit that. But I think if you use Mason Mount, I think we have a better chance of getting a result with him in the team than him out of the team.
I mean, typically, Shreyas, it's a nice headache to have for a manager to kind of be picking between these players. But there's been a lot of money spent on Cunha, 60 million, 62 million, whatever it is, decent wage packet. He'll obviously would have come to United to play games like this. So how do you make that decision as a manager?
Earn his spot back the way Mount did. Because, again, not saying that Cunha hasn't been good. I think Cunha has been good as well. And you can see what he's got to offer whenever you see him on the pitch. He's very aggressive. And when it comes to, his decisiveness in tricky scenarios, like in 1v2s and 1v3s, he's a lot more confident than we've seen other players in that position. So he's definitely, a very good player. And I've got no doubt that he'll be a success. But it's good to have these sort of options.
I was going to say, Oh, go on.
Yeah, if Mount doesn't click in that game, you've at least got a quality option to bring off from the bench. Because right now, the issue that we've got in midfield is that if you take Casemiro out or even if you take Bruno out of there, that midfield stops working. I'm quite happy that at least with the attack, you've at least got that sort of fluidity and at least you've got that sort of quality available on the bench as well, that even if you pick one or two players out, that attack can still function.
Yeah, I think one thing that's interesting, Sam, is could you actually not, had you played kind of a different system, excuse me, could you actually not have them in the same team? You could have Mount, Cunha, and Mbeumo and Šeško playing, right?
Yeah, you can definitely have that. You can have Menu as well, and then, if you play a different system, Menu could feature, Bruno could feature, Mount could feature. It depends on how you shape up your squad, but with the way you've, Amorim shapes up this team, you need to make sacrifices and cut somewhere.
Yeah. Over the international break, Sam, we've seen Rashford pushing his way back into the side with his form at Barcelona. I don't think any of the other United players are getting in there like Manu or Maguire in a minute. But is there a chance for Mount to push in if he keeps playing the way he is?
I'm surprised he didn't get a call up.
Yeah, same.
Like, unless there was like a niggle or an injury where he's like, I don't want to, because obviously he's I don't want to say he's fragile, but it does seem like they're managing his injury quite extensively. So maybe he said, I don't want to risk it at this point. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm surprised that I got a call. Because like you said, he's worked under Tuchel before, who used him really effectively when he was at Chelsea. He was really effective under what's his name? Gareth Southgate. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name. Yeah, he's really effective under him when he played the system. He was not a 10, but he was almost like a shadow striker, wasn't he? Like he sort of would float around that area and sort of influence the game. So yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't. But I think if he carries on the way he's been playing, and doesn't get injured and he plays consistent games, I could see him getting in. Because lads, not to sort of ruin your day, but there's another international break in November. So
yeah, what's going on with this, by the way? Like, why is that's 4, right? By the time we reach November, feels like watching more international football. Like, did you not get that no one likes international breaks? Everyone hates them.
Yeah,
from everyone I speak to, you might get the odd 5-10% who are like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch England against Andorra." Which fair play.
The only people who are more interested in international break with England and stuff is if you support a team that's like low league or non-league.
Yeah.
If you support a Premier League team, you've got zero interest in international football.
It's so fucking weird. But look, I think there's a lot of competition in that place at the moment as well. Morgan Rogers seems to be the guy who's playing there the most. I mean, Bellingham not in the team. Tuchel's going to have talks with him apparently.
Elliot Anderson is
playing really
well as well.
Playing really well
England as well.
Yeah, it's Anderson, Rice, and Rogers seems to be the one that he's going for in a minute.
Trent's not in the team either.
Yeah, no Foden either. No Foden in there. yeah, so people got to fight for the places. Mount's got a huge mountain to climb, ironically, but let's see if he gets in there. We're going to finish this show off, lads, with I'm going to say a list of midfielders, and you guys stay quiet until I name one better than Adam Wharton. Okay? Okay. João Gomez. Bellegarde. Ward-Prowse. Souček. Henderson. Longstaff. Anton Stack. Lukic. Harvey Elliott. Amadou Onana. Casemiro.
Casemiro now or in his prime?
Now. Right now.
No.
Bentancur. Sarr. Zubimendi.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got one.
I wanted to buy it on Stack, but I think he needs more
Even I
time
did.
to prove it.
Yeah.
I did want to buy it on that, but I didn't.
So Zubimendi, are you, Sam? Are you still staying quiet, or are you going?
Yeah, I think Wharton's got more.
Oh, interesting.
offense.
Belieber.
I do like Zubimendi is a fantastic player. Like, don't get me wrong.
Belieber.
What? I think Belieber is more of what we need right now than what Wharton is.
In general, though, we're talking just player comparison. Who do you think's better?
I think
not on
Wharton is
who
a
I
bit
like.
more. I think when it comes to hybrids, I think Wharton is a bit more well-rounded as a hybrid, not as a 6, but I think as a hybrid, he'll be a lot more effective than Belieber is.
I enjoy watching Wharton more than I enjoy watching Belieber, but I think Belieber offers more for United what we need right now, I would say.
McAllister.
Not this season.
Ooh. I think
Last
he's been riddled
season.
with injuries, in fairness to him.
Like last season, yes, not this season.
I'm just saying, as a player, I think McAllister does have.
Yeah, I'd say McAllister. I'd definitely say McAllister, but this season he's been a bit poor. This season.
Gravenberch.
Yeah, he's better.
Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Casado. Yeah, all better.
Yeah,
so you're talking like Wharton's 4th, 5th, 6th?
Yeah, you can say
he's also
top
one of
five.
the youngest as well, isn't he? Like Rice is what, 26?
Yeah.
25. Casido's in his mid-20s. Zubimendi's in his mid-20s.
It's a young batch.
Yeah, so he's one of the youngest ones, so he's still got time to reach that level, I would argue.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that was fun to finish off with. Let me just finish off with these comments, actually, because I don't want to ignore the last ones. You know what you're going to get from Maz before he's even kicked a ball?
Yeah.
Mount is a pressing animal. Mount has to start that game. Would it be far-fetched to say we may be starting to see why he was brought in? It's hard to leave Cunha out.
Can I just say as well, isn't it funny how Ten Hag brought him in and we didn't see anything what we were supposed to see from him? Amrim's come in and then we've seen the absolute best of Mason Mount. It's mad.
I always go off a coach's words a lot of the time because obviously they're the ones who work with him the most closely. And the feedback on Mount has always been incredible from any coach who's spoken about him or worked with him.
It's the same as McTominay. Any manager to come in, they just have praises to say about them.
Just like he feels like he's always going to be a key cog in a team. He's never going to be the best outright player, but a key cog.
But
and I think that's what he's for us at the minute.
You're going to get 7, 8 out of 10 every game from him. Like,
and the dedication as well.
What is Diego Dallo doing in training then? What the fuck's he doing? Is he
It
just
must
doing
just be
world
curling
class
him in
shit?
top bins, isn't it?
Like,
I mean, he used to always say that, innit? Like when he spoke about training, he'd be like, "Oh, they've been amazing this week. They've done this," and you watch them on the pitch, you go, "Really, really?" Because what we're seeing on the pitch is completely different. Actually enjoyed this international break. Norway went on a rampage. Good stuff. It's good to hear.
Yeah, didn't Haaland score like 5 goals or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I think Ødegaard got injured though, right? He's out for like a few months.
He's still out.
I feel like he's getting injured every fucking minute. Like anytime
I think he's been Arsenal game. I think he's the first player to be taken off in the first half for 3 games. I think.
Yeah, crazy.
Not good.
We're also about to get to the playoffs for the first time in 19 years. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations. Yeah. I feel like England take that for granted because it just happens all the time. Yeah. I think Tuchel's 18 goals scored, conceded none, and we've qualified already for the World Cup. So for us, it just never seems like
we absolutely. Was it Latvia we battered the other day?
Yeah, twatted them last night.
Absolutely battered them.
Yeah. So we are in the World Cup. Let's see if we win it or not. Appreciate everyone watching. I don't know if I mentioned this at the start of the show or not, but we are tweaking things slightly on the channel and changing kind of the content up and what we'll be doing. Match day lives and everything around that will still be there. Everything that goes out on Instagram and X will still be there, and the clips on TikTok. Just the long format content we're switching up. So any feedback's always appreciated, whether you are watching this live right now or watching it later on. What kind of shows you enjoy, all that kind of good stuff, so we can put the stuff out. And yeah, appreciate the time from Sam and Shreyas. International break will nearly be over. Catchers will be on the Anfield Index, I think it's called, tomorrow. Me and Sam doing the enemy territory, doing the Liverpool preview. So looking forward to that. We'll have our own preview before the weekend, and then we'll be live there and thereabouts the game as well. So yeah, unless you lads have anything else you want to throw out there.
No, appreciate everybody's support, even though the content's been a bit all over the place just due to personal stuff going on outside. But yeah, there might be less content, but I think the content that we put out is going to be better quality.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea. So yeah, appreciate you got everybody sticking with us and like not sort of abandoning ship. So thank you very much.
Appreciate you all. Leave a like on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel. See you